Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas. A scenic view from the pit lane is what welcomed competitors to Dezzi Raceway, and the Sabat Lotus Challenge competitors were lining up to try out the new track. Despite the excitement of the day, there was also a somber note.
Okay, you'll notice we've got number 43, not out, Michael Houghton's name on the back of our race cars. Very sadly, Michael passed away about 5 weeks ago, and he's a great racing driver and a great family man, and we miss him very, very much. We decided that as a tribute to Mike, we'd put the sticker on all of our race cars and keep them on the race cars for the rest of the year, just as our small way of just remembering him.
It's new for everybody, which is nice, and everybody has the same disadvantage or advantage, depending. I think the elevation change at the top of turn 2, going over there is a blind rise, and straight after it's a right-hander, so that's going to take some getting used to. I think we might see some carnage there. I think you need to rub some testosterone cream on to get around there.
Rob Gearing was the quickest of the Sabat Lotus Challenge competitors, ahead of James Forbes and Jeff Gable. Glenn Clark and David Jeremy fill up row 3, Jean de Toy was in 10th, the quickest of the Class Ls, and Alan Spies in 12th was the fastest Class C car. The lights go out and they're off in race 1 of the Sabat Lotus Challenge here at Dezzi Raceway. The field starts under a yellow flag to prevent any incidents in the first corner. The green flags will be waved as they head up to turn 2 and racing will begin. Up the hill they climb. Glenn Clark is right on Neil DeLata's bumper as they head into the blind right-hander. Trying down the left, trying down the right. Can he find his way past? David Jeremy in turn is not going to let Clark get away. On board with Johan Nel in his Class L machine as he chases Alan Spies and Andre Duplessis through the corkscrew and up to the left-hander. Spies has a look down the inside of Duplessis, then moves back to the left, lining himself up for the late apex of the hairpin, which moves him alongside Duplessis. Spies has the power down and is able to drive past Duplessis as they head down the sweeping left-hander. Spies pulls up alongside Jean de Toy on their way down to the right-hander. De Toy has the inside line though and manages to hold the position. Sean Allen has managed to pass Johan Nel down the inside of the turn and also moves up a position. In second place it's James Forbes ahead of Jeff Gable. Neil DeLata in the purple Tornado marketing machine is in hot pursuit of the baby blue Talon Motorsports car as they climb up the hill into the blind right-hander. James Forbes ahead of Jeff Gable, ahead of Neil DeLata. Glenn Clark and David Jeremy are right behind them. This is looking to shape up to be a great battle. Jean de Toy makes his move down the inside of the Martini liveried Lotus of Alan Spies, and he leads the pair into the corkscrew. These guys are going to have a really great battle, and there's nothing in it between the two. Neil DeLata pulling over his Lotus. A blown fuse is the reason for all his woes. Johan Nel making his move on Chris Woolley down the inside of turn 1. Woolley fights back and leads Nel up the hill. Nel pushing hard and fighting a bit with the steering wheel as they round the bend. Down the corkscrew they go, and Nel makes up a bit of ground on Woolley, and they make their way into the hairpin. Nel is determined not to let Woolley get away and is pushing hard. Woolley, on the other hand, has Sean Allen in his sights. Nel now has his mirrors full with the Marpine auto engineering machine of Dave Vervoort, who is closed right up on the back of the low-cost row cam of Nel. Side by side, Nel and Vervoort run into turn 1. Nel on the inside holds the line and leads Vervoort up the hill. A great battle developing between this pair. Lots of elevation changes here, which certainly make for interesting racing. This type of tight, twisty track is new to the competitors and takes a bit of getting used to. It is also for the brave, with not much room for runoff. Johan Nel is now focused on the orange rear of Sean Allen and will be looking for a way past as they head down the hill. Synchronized turning there for both drivers as they turn into the bend, and Nel makes his move down the inside. Smooth move from Nel, and that sees him exit ahead of Sean Allen in the Class C machine. Rob Gearing, meanwhile, is having a rather uneventful race at the front of the field, just jumping the inside curb there, but no harm done, and he continues on his way. Jacques Lemeau in his Marpine Auto Engineering Class C machine makes his way into the pits, and it's retirement for him, unfortunately. Hurtling down the start-finish straight, Chris Woolley takes the inside line on Andre Duplessis, and he'll hold it all the way through turn 1. Duplessis fights back and edges ahead as they begin the climb up the hill. Over the blind rise and into the right-hander, and Duplessis moves ahead of the green machine. Woolley is determined not to let Duplessis get away, and he's fighting hard to stay with the lead racing machine as they make their way through the corkscrew and up to the hairpin. Woolley closes up on Duplessis as they begin their descent round the left sweep. Ahead of them, Alan Spies and Jean Dutoit are locked in a battle of their own. Dutoit takes the inside line and the position away from Spies as they make their way round the sweeping right-hander. Spies thinks about coming back into the tight left, but he isn't quite close enough. Through the trees they go, and into some traffic they come. Dutoit leads the way past Quinton Roux as they make their way round the left-hander. In the battle for second, it's James Forbes who is coming under pressure from Jeff Gable. Into the hairpin, and Gable gets it all wrong. Locks up and clips the curb. That will lose him a lot of time, and hopefully no damage to his car as he gets going again and tries to make up for that error. It doesn't seem to have affected Gable too much though, and he's back on the pace and trying to regain some of the time he lost to Forbes. Behind them, watching the drama unfold, is Glenn Clark. Jean Dutoit in the Class L low-cost Rocam leads the green machine of Chris Woolley, who is being chased down by Alan Spies in the Martini Class C car. The bunting tape on the back of Spies' machine indicates that he is a novice driver, and this track will certainly be a test for his skills. He seems to be faring quite well though. Woolley goes down the inside of Dutoit as they make their way down the hill. Dutoit comes back at him though as they head into the right-hander. Side by side they go, and Dutoit has the advantage on the exit and pulls ahead of Woolley. Woolley holds his line though, and he looks like he's going to retake the advantage going into the left-hander. The pair are neck and neck. Who's going to come out first? It's Woolley who comes out first. Great driving there. Up the hill they climb, side by side. Alan Spies has managed to make up some ground on Dutoit, and Andre Duplessis is right behind him. Great racing here from these guys as they make their way through the final complex and onto the start-finish straight. Spies pushing hard, and he looks to make a move on the Class L car of Jean Dutoit as they head down the start-finish straight. And Spies gets ahead of Dutoit. Dutoit fights back though and moves to the left, taking the inside line for turn 1. Dutoit manages to get the position back, but Spies comes straight back at him as they head up the hill. But it's not quite close enough to make it stick. Some exciting racing here at Dezzi Raceway. These guys really are trying very hard, but it's not easy to pass. Race leader Rob Gearing has had a relatively quiet race with a margin of over 13 seconds between him and the second place battle. James Forbes and Jeff Gable are going to take it to the wire as there's nothing between the two. In the Class L battle, Jean Dutoit is ahead of Andre Duplessis, with rookie Class C driver Alan Spies separating the pair. Rob Gearing has taken the checkered flag, and it's the battle for second which comes charging over the line. Side by side, Forbes and Gable. And it's Forbes who takes second place by just over 0.2 of a second from Jeff Gable. Great racing from the pair. Jean Dutoit comes over the line to take the Class L win, with Andre Duplessis taking second place. Confirmation of the results, and Rob Gearing took a comfortable win. Jean Dutoit winning Class L, and it was Sean Allen who took the win in Class C after Chris Woolley and Alan Spies broke out.
This thing is twistier than a corkscrew, I think. It's been certainly a learning lesson for all of us about how to get around here. I think I was very lucky because I was the pole man, so I managed to get a little bit of a gap. And once you can take clean lines here, you can get away. The guys behind me had an epic scrap from what I could see, but they tend to hold each other up because you're blocking all the time. So that played into my hands.
From the very start, Jeff was behind, Neil Delata was behind us. There was a big pack of guys obviously fighting for every bit of tarmac, and truth be told, fighting for the privilege of getting the best view of the back of Rob Gearing's car, who ran away to a very confident victory. So Jeff and I kept each other very busy, I have to say, and occasionally I was able to use my mirror. The reason he's holding the microphone is because my hands haven't stopped shaking yet, so he's got the microphone for this one.
What the track is, right, is it's tremendously windy, the uphill, the downhill, the off-camber, the undulations. The car is never settled. As a driver, you never have time to look at the gauges and have a think and make your next plan. You're absolutely on the limit the entire lap. That's a bit special.
It's a very different kind of challenge to the ones we're used to on the, let's say, the traditional circuits at Kyle Army and Zwartkops. This is a very different challenge. It's physical, it's exhausting. Some of the guys throwing the bigger cars around, I think they're going to know about it tomorrow. But, you know, we need variety, and it's great to be able to come down to the coast. It's great to be able to bring our racing down to KwaZulu-Natal, expand our audience, and really Des has done a fantastic job to make that possible.
Quick question. When was the last time that the national circuit race was held in KwaZulu-Natal? Find out after the break.
Join us after the break for more action from the Midas Historic Tour.